Can you hear Mark?
Nope.
No. Can I? Mark, I cannot hear you.
Nope.
Yeah, I didn't even hear the pledge.
Yeah.
Can't hear
No.
Becky either.
Becky cannot
Yeah, I
hear
can
you.
hear.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I
You
can
can
hear
hear me now?
Becky.
Okay,
I can hear you
Yeah.
now, Mark.
Becky.
Yes.
We just couldn't hear the pledge.
Is Dr. Miller on?
Yep, he's on there now.
On, but muted, or was.
Okay. Dan, there is, okay, gotcha.
I'm here.
And then Dan Holloway?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay. You're muted, at least on the screen. So-
Yeah, he just doesn't have video. He has audio, but not video.
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay. All right. Roll call, please.
Darlene Bailey,
Here.
Dan Holloway,
Here.
Matt Hunt,
Here.
John Kern,
Here.
Dan Weekly,
Here.
Susan Warman,
Here.
Mark Kelly.
Here. A quorum being present, entertain a motion to adopt the agenda.
I moved that we approve to adopt agenda as presented.
Second.
All those in favor, it's roll call. Everything's roll call tonight, so we're clear. Roll call, please.
Darlene Bailey,
Yes.
Dan Holloway,
Yes.
Matt Hunt,
Yes.
John Kern,
Yes.
Dan Weekly,
Yes.
Susan Warman,
Yes.
Mark Kelly.
Yes. Okay, carries. There is no public comment. We'd ask that anybody apply by noon today. If they did, and we've had no responses, entertain a motion to adopt the consent agenda.
I moved that we adopt the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
You can pick it.
Who was that?
John and Susan, you can write down whichever one you want.
Okay.
Roll call, please.
Darlene Bailey,
Yes.
Dan Holloway,
Yes.
Matt Hunt,
Yes.
John Kern,
Yes.
Dan Weekly,
Yes.
Susan Warman,
Yes.
Mark Kelly.
Yes. Information items, financial report.
What I'd like to do, if I could, is the financial reports are there. Not much has changed yet. It absolutely will going forward in the future, but we just don't know what that's going to look like yet. I would like to take a moment, if I can, and with regard to school closures, as the board knows, we've been ridiculously busy gearing up new programs for the very first time. And as it happens, today, a couple of those new programs really kicked off for the first time. And so what I'd like to do is start off with Jennifer to have her tell you about our instructional programs, just very briefly how that went today, and then go to Heather and have her visit a little bit about our special services programs, and then go to Jeff and have him discuss the food service program, which also kicked off today. And then Ginger and I can talk about any financial considerations and concerns, and we'll answer any questions that you may have. Recognize this is really just day one, and I want to say on the onset that I could not be more proud of our entire staff, frankly, because everybody came out in droves. Teachers, if you didn't see social media, that teachers from all of our elementary schools did a teacher parade down every neighborhood street. Kids came out with their parents waving signs and cheering for the teachers as they went by. It was pretty amazing. Bring a tear to your eye for sure. And then our teachers began teaching today, and day one, some amazing things are happening. We've got a bunch of kids who are locked in their houses, and the only sense of normalcy they have is school. And so all the way around, it's been an excellent day, and we messed up a whole bunch, and we're going to in the future, but we're also figuring it out as we go. So everybody in this community, except for one person, has been incredibly patient. And I'm talking to her tomorrow. Jennifer, do you want to take it from there and talk about what we did today?
Sure. Yeah, by this morning, well, it was up until late last night. I know our GLTLs were still working hard together to get everything together to put online. But as of this morning, all of our elementary grade levels had their information posted. Middle school, junior high did. I went through all of the links today. I know we still had a few high school teachers missing. I think they are emailing and making contact with the kids, but as far as getting it on the website, we were still missing a few of the high school teachers. I have been assured that that will be up and running by tomorrow morning. But I will check on that again. But everybody has done an incredible job. We really, I mean, I took a lot of calls from parents today, and everybody was incredibly kind and patient and flexible, like Dr. Nicely said, except for one, but that's okay. As far as our paper packets go, we have about 85 people right now, or 85 students who are going to need the paper packets. So we are going to start working tomorrow to get those ready. We're going to run the paper packets similar to how we are doing the food. Jeff said we can, we'll just deliver paper packets out to Kearney Elementary, Dogwood, and Kearney High School. People they have the option of picking paper packets up there, or we will deliver them via the buses as they take the food around. And honestly, that's about it for the online. We're running into things, maybe teachers posted some things that were not super online friendly. I mean, that's just a learning curve. We're gonna have to make some changes on that, but I think we'll work the kinks out this week. We'll be better next week and even better the week after that.
One thing, Jennifer, if I could add one thing with regard to paper packets, it's really important for the board to know that those packets are only for individual families that do not have connectivity. If they don't have a device, we're providing those devices. In fact, Ryan, I'm sorry, Ryan is going to say something about that in a minute as well. But it's only for those people who don't have connectivity. We did have quite a few calls from folks saying, hey, we want the paper packet, because parents perceive that as easier for them. But the reality is if we're going to transition to online learning, online education, the online piece of it is really important. In a couple of weeks, we're going to be absolutely amazed what these students and teachers are doing. I heard audio from a third grade classroom at Southview Elementary today, where the entire class was in a Zoom meeting with their teachers, sharing stories about what it is that they were doing, talking about things that are happening in class. Those things are lost on students that choose the paper packet. So as board members, it's really important for you to know when somebody asks if they can have a paper packet, we ask, do you have connectivity? And if the answer is yes, our answer is no.
Can I add to that too? Because I got to watch this happen today, Jennifer, at home with Jackson, second grade. And for these kids to get to see their friends too. I mean, I can only speak on elementary, but for the kids to get to see their teacher and to see their friends was emotional. It was a great thing to see. And I just wanted to tell you that with all the issues that you're having, it went really well for the kids, because I know that Jackson's attitude changed once he got to see his friends, and his attitude during the day was a lot better. So just wanted to throw that little nugget into you too, Jennifer.
That's awesome. Thanks, John. The other thing, Ashley Weaver has been working for the last 2 days with the teachers just to help them with all of this online learning. She's got them all up to speed on using Zoom and several other different programs that will help them run an online classroom. She's been amazing. I think she has worked her tail off for several days straight now, just trying to meet everybody's need, and she's done a great job with that. I have been in contact, Megan Masters and I, we have spoken a lot. We know we have a lot of kids that have some mental health issues. We really need to keep that going for those kids. All of our providers, which is Synergy, Tri-County, another local provider, as well as our behavior interventionist, we are working to continue services for all of those kids. None of those will meet with kids face-to-face. We had talked about maybe having meetings at central office, but nobody is meeting face-to-face, so it has to be online. A lot of these kids do not have internet access, so we have ordered hotspots, but we know that's a couple weeks out. The providers are in contact with the kids over the phone, but we really need to get these hotspots in our hands, and so we can continue those services.
Great. Appreciate all the hard work for everybody else.
Heather, do you want to go next?
I would love to. Reached out to a lot of staff today. You know, there's a lot of uncertainties moving forward. How are we going to provide therapies? How are we going to provide all of the modifications and things that these kiddos need? And we have an awesome staff. They have already started Zoom meetings with parents, with kids. We have paras that are giving homework support. Our therapists are working to give online therapy. Some of them have even made therapy bags that can go home, and then following up with them on like those online sessions, mostly using Zoom as far as that is concerned. I keep telling them that we just want to do what's best for kids. We want to keep our kids making progress. That's the big thing here for us.
Good.
With the therapies, like with the providers that Jennifer talked about, how are we providing those services? Are they through Zoom, video?
Yes, they're setting up Zoom sessions. So parents are being provided with all of their goal information, which they should have already, but we wanted to send that out so that it was fresh in everybody's mind. And then the therapists are setting up those Zoom sessions and actually going to provide therapy that way. So our speech and language pathologists are going to do one-on-one speech sessions through Zoom. And then our OTs and PTs are going to check in with kids that way as well. We're also making weekly phone contact just to make sure parents think things are going okay, to see if there's anything additional that's needed. We're just trying to help support parents the best that we can, because for some of these kiddos, I mean, this is a big adjustment. It's not just an adjustment for us as the adults, but it's hard on these kids too, especially those kids who really need that routine. So we're trying to help parents kind of fill that void, help them, you know, just trying to move forward the best that we can.
And Heather, do you want to, I don't know if you feel comfortable talking about early education and parents as teachers, since you've kind of been assisting in that area a little bit?
Sure. So parent as teachers are finishing up their screenings on Zoom, and I think they're going to be on track to finish within a reasonable amount of time. Jennifer's kind of been overseeing those things. Puppy Pound, we're getting involved. They're going to start helping with making the paper packets. They're also going to help work with Jeff and delivering the meals. So as far as that staff's concerned, that's kind of how we're engaging them. Of course, Acorn Patch and Forest Friends, we're still trying to educate kids. You know, we're sending home those learning kits. They use Seesaw, so they're actually filming lessons and sharing those with families. We're just, like I said, we're trying to keep all of our kids engaged, even the little ones.
Thank you.
Heather, I just had a quick question too, Jennifer, and stuff like that. How are we getting feedback from the therapist and everything? Only reason why, because recently in a medical setting, behavior-wise, we've had even some employees saying that they feel as if their infrastructure is falling apart, and they depend on that infrastructure, behavior-wise and that sort of thing. And so I just don't know how children are interpreting that too from a different perspective, being at home and not having that outlet or going to school.
Sure. And for some of our kids, that is a true concern. They like that routine and not being able to be at school and, get on the bus like they normally would can be a really big deal. So again, that's why we're trying to follow up with families at least once a week, sometimes more, just trying to give that support the best that we can. So the therapies that my department work with are mostly your speech and language, occupational therapy, and then physical therapy. So again, we can track those through the parents, but also through those Zoom meetings that they're going to do. That's going to be a little bit different than the mental health piece of that, which is more on Jennifer's side of things.
Yeah, and that's yeah.
And right now, Dan, the providers are reaching out to the kids, and we're trying to get those set up. But in all honesty, it's probably going to be next week before we can really get those individual therapy sessions going.
Okay.
Anyone else have any questions?
One thing, I was going to add just one thing, just because it's so important that we keep our kids reading, and especially our kiddos that struggle with reading. We do not want them falling behind any further than what they already are. And Allie Stewart and Clara Steffen, the two reading interventionists, they worked hard over this last weekend and put together an awesome plan for our reading teachers, our title reading, regular reading, for everybody to stay on the same page and keep these kids going. They have ways that they're going to put books online for the kids. And they're going to work with the kids via Zoom. They'll try to do some small groups as well as individual work with those kids.
That's great. Ryan, do you want to talk about technology real quick?
Hey, everybody. So tomorrow we have Chromebook checkout starting. It's going to be at Hawthorne Elementary. We've received requests already for 230 Chromebooks to be checked out, and 192 of those are going to be picked up tomorrow. We're going to have traffic control and paras helping, and hopefully it'll go pretty smoothly. It was a busy weekend. I worked to create those Google Drive folders that you see on the website, and also helping our teachers and our staff transition to a work from home environment. One of the greatest things about our phone system that we've had for a few years is it has an app that allows your phone to serve as your cell phone to serve as your extension. So it's a seamless transition. Working from home, you can pick up your phone from anywhere. Here in the office, we played with it a little bit last week, and it worked great. So all the teachers can now call from their school phone number instead of giving out their cell phone number. Additionally, as Jennifer talked about, Ashley trained her teachers how to use Zoom, how to use some other communication tools in the class that's now happening online. And that happened yesterday, happened all day for her. That was a very busy day. And then today obviously was very busy, just working through all of the troubleshooting that we had to do, just things that happen when you go to a virtual environment. So it was a positive day though. Anybody have any questions about technology?
Appreciate all your hard work.
Yeah, thank you for that. And since
No problem.
since my youngest is in the junior high building. She has different classes, different teachers, and all of them have a different method that they're using or different technologies or whatever. And I mean, it is day one, but it was very seamless for us. So I know, like for elementary, it's the same, typically the same teacher, but having multiple teachers, multiple classes, it was pretty good.
Right. And with the elementary, Jennifer might speak more to this, but all the grade levels have this exact same plans online, which is really helpful for those parents trying to find that information.
And the other thing we didn't mention, oh, sorry. I was just gonna say the other thing we didn't mention is that the teachers all have, outside of whatever other communication they're doing with the kids, they all have 2 one-hour blocks that they are available to the kids. And in the buildings, they have staggered those blocks out. So if there is a third grader that has a question for a third grade teacher, they can, even if they can't get a hold of their teacher at that time, they can get a hold of one of the third grade teachers, and they are all doing the same thing across the district. So that will work out well. The kids should always be able to contact the teacher with questions. We know that this is stressing some parents out. I've read it on Facebook, so it's true, I know. But the teachers they're there for the kids, so we hope to relieve parents' stress level.
Thank you, Jennifer. Jeff, do you want to talk about food service?
So we served 900 meals today for kids. We have pickup locations from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Dogwood Elementary, Kearney Elementary, and Kearney High School. We teamed up with Durham to deliver meals as well today. And so we had the meals come out of the high school and we load them up. We have myself, I jumped on a bus today and helped out delivering meals to kids, and so did most of our paraprofessionals. And we had a few administrators jump on as well. And the common theme coming back was it was very therapeutic for them to just see kids. So kind of reminds us of what the business we are in, and it's about kids and doing good things for them. And I imagine with what's been put in place to stay at home, I'm adding more families into that tonight in that spreadsheet. We'll probably be over 1,000 meals tomorrow. So, but good things, and our staff is really stepping up to help kids. So that's what we're all about.
Hey, Jeff, how many are breakfast versus lunch?
So the kids get both. So they get in their baggie that they get a lunch for the day and breakfast for the next morning.
So really, it was 900 lunches and 900 breakfasts?
Yes. And kudos to Southwest Food Service Excellence. They did a nice job of getting all that prepared, and they're looking at, we have a live spreadsheet going all the time, and appreciate Ryan helping us set that up. And we continue to update that so that they're ready to go in the morning with everything.
Hey, Jeff, I want to appreciate that, because I've heard from different school districts and Justin's as well, where the teachers are being sent to different locations. It's been chaotic. So from the parents that I've heard it from this morning, they said that it was a very good transition. So thank you for that too. So I know it's been crunch time for you guys. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
So that's kind of a segue into the finance part of it. And as you might suspect, we have a lot of question marks. There's, we're redoing our school budget midstream, or not midstream, but towards the end of the stream. And there's a lot of variances from what we have budgeted to what we're seeing now without having school in session. I want to commend the board because the Board of Education made the commitment to pay all employees and continue to pay all employees. So we're appreciative of that, and we think that's very important because as an example, as Jeff alluded to, we are utilizing our staff in a wide variety of ways. Oftentimes it's different than what they were originally hired for, utilizing paraprofessionals to help deliver food or make instructional packets. Secretaries are still in the buildings. Nurses are, if you saw me today, I had a zip sweater on and I had a sticker on my sweater which indicated that I had had my temperature taken, happened to be at Kearney High School, but whatever building I went to, everybody knew that my temperature was taken and I was okay. Because everywhere you go into a school building, they're going to take your temperature, and if you have one, you're not coming in. And so they're really the gatekeepers. So really everybody has a role. What we think is that as this goes forward, a couple of things are going to happen. One is we're going to better be able to identify the kids that we're not having contact with, and then we can assign people to even want some of our employees who might be at home with their own children and be unable to come to work. They can get on the phone and contact families and say, listen, what can we do to help you get connected? What kind of needs do you have as a family, so that nobody in our school district is isolated. And all of those things are going to be really important. And then, you know, we're just seeing the very beginning of the proverbial hump with regard to COVID-19. There will be people across our community that get sick, and we want to provide support services to those folks, to the families, to children, as the situation changes for our community and for Clay County. So I think that's really important as well. Already, we're starting to look forward to when that happens and try to identify the needs before they come. Jennifer talked about mental health needs. We're thankful for the Clay County Children's Fund grant. I said earlier today that those folks at Clay County Children's Fund might have to pivot a little bit from where they're at now to add on additional services for families that have a large number of families that have been stricken down with COVID-19. In some cases, have lost a grandparent or a parent, or because those things are going to happen. We know they are. We just don't know to what extent they are, but we want to be there for our families when they do. Technology, tomorrow's the big day for handing out Chromebooks, but we don't know what that's going to look like and what the need is going to be. Is it going to be like food service, where we hand out 100 Chromebooks in one day and find out we really need to hand out 300? So there's some financial need there as well. We've had a tremendous outpouring of organizations, from our own district foundation to Kaufman Foundation, indicating that, hey, tell us what you need and we're going to help out. So we really appreciate that. And then connectivity is going to be a big thing. How do we get some folks connected who are not? Well, Spectrum Communication and Consolidated Communication have very graciously, in the areas where they work, are providing free connectivities to families with children for 2 months. So that's helped a lot, but there's a lot of folks out in the rural areas that do not have connectivity, and so we're thinking about hotspots and those kinds of things as well. All of those cost money. And then there's the state funding component, and we really don't know where that's going to go. Our school district is closed down till the 24th, but like everybody, we're reevaluating, and it's certainly possible. I think everybody recognizes it's certainly possible that we don't have school in our buildings through the end of this school year. Do we do summer school? Do we do fall semester? What does all of that look like? And so there's still lots of questions in the air, and there's funding components with that as well. As the economy declines across the country and in our state, that puts into jeopardy state funding, which is a direct impact to public education. So we have to be able to be as agile as possible with regard to state funding, and frankly monitor what we're spending from this point forward, so that we can continue to operate in a stable conditions. Thankfully, our balances are in good shape. And there's a reason our balances are in good shape, right? All along, we've known that. Ginger, do you have anything to add to what I've said, and any information from the state level perhaps that might be of value with regard to funding and school district operation?
There aren't any issues with this year's funding. The concern is going to be next year. And as far as our individual people, we've made sure payroll's processed, vendor payments are coming in, and it's going to be another month or so before we actually get a clear picture of where we are on this year.
Board members, we received our emails on Friday afternoons from Kansas City Cooperating School Districts. I don't know if you pull those up. A lot of them have to do with lobbying efforts, but on Friday I noted when I looked at them, there were also all of the flyers from DESE. So you can see what DESE is disseminating to all the school districts and talking about MAP testing, for instance, and attendance. So that was good. If you guys want to look at that, I don't know whether anybody else did, but I would use that.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, that's the silver lining is statewide testing got canceled, so.
Right.
Well, that's certainly. Dan, Weekly, is there anything on your end that I might have missed that you're experiencing as well in your school district?
No, I think you pretty much covered it all. I think the thing that, the summer school question is the one that, we're starting to struggle with too. It just, with a high likelihood, depending on how things go in the next 2 to 3 weeks, I could see that, let's say we actually get on top of this curve a little bit and we're able to maybe come out of these quarantines that we're under for, end of May. Summer school might be the biggest summer school the district's ever seen, because I'm sure kids are going to want to come to school and see their friends, and parents are going to want to see them come to school and have some structure. And so, who knows what that'll look like, but I think for now we're kind of under the anticipation that school will probably not exist, this year, and that the only real possibility might be summer school, maybe. And, that could be the best summer school the state of Missouri's ever seen.
Right. Yes, for sure.
And I think
We'll keep you posted.
We were talking about expanding summer, well, not expanding, but we were going to add transportation, thinking that might expand it anyway. So it might really be crazy.
Yes. You know what? Lots of emails about school operation. The second largest category of emails I received are from mothers of graduating seniors.
Yep.
They want to know about prom and they want to know about graduation. And I don't have an answer for either one, unfortunately, but we are going to, we certainly are going to recognize our graduates however we possibly can. We were able to, Andy Guston was able to get a rescheduled prom date in the same venue for the end of April. Obviously, that might just be a feel-good thing, but we always hold out hope. And whenever it is, however it is, we will do some sort of graduation ceremony. So all you board members who have seniors, don't fret. But the fact of the matter is, it's not going to be the same. We do know that. There's a whole bunch of things that aren't going to be the same.
I'll take her to Dairy Queen. That's all right. Peanut butter solves all issues. It's okay.
The silver lining behind graduation is Dan Halloway won't be able to wear his purple suit. So that's.
Oh. I don't think Dan Holloway fits in his purple suit anymore anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
In a good way.
Probably two of me.
In a good way.
Yeah.
Right.
Amen.
Hey, I say
Anyways,
he wears
as you
it.
can see,
He wears it at the
as you
next
can see.
meeting.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. As you can see, these folks have been just super busy. You know, one of the things that I've always thought that we do really well in the school district is be able to remain agile and solve problems. We see that as an example, in low test scores in one particular area in a certain year, and all of a sudden they figure out how to fix it, and next year those test scores are right back up. This is an example of that on a district-wide massive scale. So super proud of our folks. We have to continue to be agile because things are changing very rapidly in our state and across the country, and we got to keep our kids in mind. Their normalcy is having school, and there's not a dang one of them who doesn't want to be back at school right now. Even the ones that don't like school, they now realize, hey, this is a lot better than I thought it was, and so we're going to try to provide that normalcy for them as best we can through all of this.
Anything else under information? I don't. Okay, let's move to action items.
So this is just a formality request of what action we took verbally the other day.
Entertain a motion.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear it.
It's because we're waiting for you to give a motion to approve school closure through April 24th.
I motion that we approve school closures through April 24th, 2020.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Darlene Bailey,
Yes.
Dan Holloway,
Yes.
Matt Hunt,
Yes.
John Kern,
Yes.
Dan Weekly,
Yes.
Susan Warman,
Yes.
Mark Kelly.
Yes. Next is program evaluation. Brian, are you going to?
Brian, we have a presentation in there. We're not going to spend time on it because of our virtualness. Just know that when we talk about being agile, Ryan had a nice program evaluation, and all of a sudden had to pivot in a different direction.
Okay.
Anybody have any questions about it?
No.
If not, entertain a motion.
I motion that we approve the evaluation.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Darlene Bailey,
Yes.
Dan Holloway,
Dan Holloway?
Yes.
Matt Hunt,
Yes.
John Kern,
Yes.
Dan Weekly,
Yes.
Susan Warman,
Yes.
Mark Kelly.
Yes. Next is the elementary Chromebook purchase. I think that was all laid out in your board packet. Anyone have any questions about that? And if not, entertain a motion to approve it.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Hey, Ryan, how many are replacement Chromebooks? Or are these all ads?
Most of those are ads, and there's about 5% that are spare. That will allow us to swap a Chromebook out when one breaks or needs a repair. That way the total number in a cart is not impacted. Just helps those teachers keep on going instead of being short cart.
All right, thanks.
Is that all the questions?
Appears to be.
I'm sorry.
You're correct. Proceed,
I motion that
please.
we approve the elementary Chromebook purchases as presented.
Second.
Second that.
Roll call, please.
Darlene Bailey,
Yes.
Dan Holloway,
Yes.
Matt Hunt,
Yes.
John Kern,
Yes.
Dan Weekly,
Yes.
Susan Warman,
Yes.
Mark Kelly.
Yes. Board member comments?
I think we've already said it, but just thanks to everyone for all the good communication and all the hard work in the past couple of weeks. And I really feel like I've been kept informed. So thank you.
Thank you
I
all.
want to thank
Yes.
everybody in the district, personnel, wide. Also, thank you for the board members for being responsive over the weekend when we needed it. Also to Matthew Hunt and Dan Weekly continuing to serve for the next couple of months. You didn't plan on it, but appreciate that too.
Only if I can wear Dan Holloway's purple suit during one of the virtual.
Oh.
Bring it on.
I wanted to say
also, a
thank
big
you.
shout out.
I'll let you be Barney.
Hey, I did want to say a big shout out to the teachers, all staff. Obviously, everybody's working really hard, but teachers putting together lesson plans on virtual in a hurry, learning Zoom. I mean, they're continuing their education too. I know Jennifer's shaking her head, which means yes, everybody's learning as we go along here. But I'm just really, this is one of those times where you get to be proud to be a Kearney Bulldog, and why we have the best staff. Across the board, from teachers to administrators to secretaries. So just a shout out to all of them as well.
I echo that, and then just want to thank all the staff for their creativity. I'm seeing all kinds of really cool things. I don't know if everybody realizes what that teacher parade at the elementary level did for so many kids, but I mean, people were texted each other, where are they now? Where are they now? I mean, it just really helped to build a sense of community. And just from seeing the teachers do online with the classes, I love the creativity of everything.
Susan, I just want to say that was really awesome, the parade, and I can't say it enough. It's so funny to see all the little kids line up, and of course Landon, being a senior, comes out not knowing what's going on, and we're standing out there. He's got his shirt off, and then his grade school teachers are like, Landon, put your shirt on. It was hilarious, but the whole neighborhood just cheering. It was bizarre, but it was great. Yeah.
Hey, shout out to Jeff. I rode a bus today too, delivering food. So it was a lot of fun to see the kids' faces, and they were happy. And I know that Jeff felt that today too. It was kind of neat to connect to him in a weird way, but it was fun. I can tell you that. So shout out to you, Jeff. I'm glad you jumped on board.
Thank you. Is that everybody? Important dates. No school through April 24th. April 15th is our next Zoom meeting. April 21st, Excellence in Education Banquet.
Canceled.
Question whether that will be going.
I haven't seen that canceled yet. Surely it is.
We can all keep our fingers that school resumes on April 27th.
Yes, sir.
And no school on May 1st. I don't know whether that would happen if that were the case.
I don't know about that.
I'm on the calendar reads right now.
On Jennifer, all parts of that. So entertain a motion for closed session.
Move that I don't know what the language is.
I got it. Action for a closed session to immediately precede the regular meeting in April, including any record or vote to discuss items and issues allowable under section 610.021 of the Missouri Sunshine Law.
Second for that.
Roll call, please.
Darlene Bailey,
Yes.
Dan Holloway,
Yes.
Matt Hunt,
Yes.
John Kern,
Yes.
Dan Weekly,
Yes.
Susan Warman,
Yes.
Mark Kelly.
Yes. Thank you all. Meeting is adjourned.
Thanks, everybody. Adios.
Thank you.
Stay safe.